The massive Empire ship appeared suddenly in Earth's orbit, its dark metal hull blocking out the stars like an artificial eclipse. On the bridge of the human defense fleet flagship Thunder, Admiral Stone stood tall, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of holographic displays. "Another alien ship, sir," said Lieutenant Ross, his fingers dancing across the control panel. "This one's bigger than anything we've ever seen." Admiral Stone nodded slowly. After years of preparing for this moment, humanity's first contact with an advanced civilization was about to happen. He straightened his uniform and looked at the main screen. "Open communications on all frequencies," he ordered. "Let's show them humans know how to be civil." The Empire ship's response came quickly. A towering figure appeared on the screen. Grand Commander Red, his purple-skinned face marked with what looked like golden tattoos of military rank. He spoke perfect English, thanks to their universal translators. "Primitive species of Earth," Red announced, his voice dripping with contempt. "You have been blessed by the attention of the Galactic Empire. Your solar system now falls within our borders. Surrender your planets and accept your place as our newest subject race." Admiral Stone kept his face neutral, though his hands tightened behind his back. "Grand Commander, we welcome peaceful contact with the Galactic Empire. However, Earth and its colonies are independent. We would be happy to discuss trade and diplomatic relations as equals." Red laughed, the sound like grinding metal. "Equals? Your species barely reached its moon a century ago. What could you possibly offer the Empire as equals?" As if answering his question, 3 Empire scout ships suddenly appeared, weapons charging as they moved toward Earth. Before anyone could react, the planet's defense grid activated. Invisible quantum shields flickered into existence, and the scout ship's energy weapons splashed harmlessly against them. The bridge of the Empire ship fell silent. For the first time, uncertainty crossed Red's face. "Impossible," he whispered. "Your technology level. Our scans showed." "We're incomplete," Stone finished for him. "Humanity has learned to be careful about showing all its cards, Commander. We've had our own wars. We've learned our lessons." The defense grid powered up further, and hundreds of small platforms appeared around Earth, each carrying weapons that even the Empire's sensors couldn't fully analyze. Stone allowed himself a small smile as he watched Red's expression change from shock to anger. "You dare to threaten the Empire?" Red snarled. "We have conquered 10,000 worlds. Our fleets darken the skies of 100 systems. You are nothing but insects to us." "Then you might want to be careful," Stone replied calmly. "Sometimes the smallest insects have the deadliest stings." Red's face turned darker purple with rage. "You have one planetary rotation to surrender. The Empire does not tolerate resistance. Our main fleet will arrive soon, and you will learn what it means to defy us." The communication cut off. Lieutenant Ross turned to Stone, worry clear on his young face. "Sir, what are our chances against their main fleet?" Admiral Stone walked to the window, looking out at the stars. "Better than they think, Lieutenant. We've had satellites watching the edges of our solar system for decades. We knew someone would come eventually." He turned to face his crew, his voice firm and confident. "Humanity stopped fighting itself 20 years ago and started preparing for this day instead. We've got weapons they've never seen, shields they can't break, and most importantly, they've already shown us their biggest weakness." "What's that, sir?" Ross asked. "Pride," Stone answered. "They think they know everything about us. They think we're primitive. They think we'll be easy to conquer." He smiled, but there was steel in it. "And that's exactly what we want them to think." He turned to his communications officer. "Send word to all Earth defense stations and the Mars colonies. Tell them to activate Protocol Omega. If the Empire wants to learn about humanity the hard way, we'll give them a lesson they'll never forget." As alarm klaxons began to sound throughout the ship, Stone looked one last time at the Empire vessel hanging in orbit. They thought humans were primitives, but they were about to learn a very important truth. Never underestimate a species that had spent most of its history preparing for war, especially one that had finally learned to unite and turn that preparation outward instead of inward. The first war between humanity and the Galactic Empire was about to begin, and humanity was ready. 3 hours after the Empire's ultimatum, a small ship appeared near Earth's moon. Unlike the aggressive approach of the Empire's vessels, this ship kept its weapons powered down and broadcasted a simple message: "I come to warn you." In the secure underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Stone watched the ship's approach on the main screen. Next to him, General White of Earth's combined forces frowned. "It could be a trap," White said, crossing his arms. "Could be," Stone agreed. "But look at the ship's design. It's Empire technology, but those modifications aren't standard. Someone's tried hard to make it run quiet." The mysterious ship's pilot identified himself as Captain Gray, a veteran officer of the Empire's fleet. To everyone's surprise, he requested to land and meet in person, accepting all security measures. 2 hours later, in a heavily guarded conference room, Captain Gray sat before Earth's Defense Council. He was shorter than Grand Commander Red. His purple skin faded to a lighter shade, and his golden rank tattoos had been partially removed. "I'm here because I've seen this before," Gray began, his voice tired. "The Empire finds a new species, demands surrender, and then enslaves them. But you're different. You actually have a chance." Stone leaned forward. "Why would an Empire captain risk everything to warn us?" Gray pulled out a small device and placed it on the table. A hologram appeared, showing dozens of worlds and species. "These were all free once," he said. "The Empire claims to bring order and progress. Instead, they bring slavery and destruction. My own people were conquered 300 years ago. I've spent my life watching it happen again and again." The hologram showed Empire ships destroying cities, enslaving populations, and stripping worlds of resources. The council members watched in silence. "But you have something I'd never seen before," Gray continued. "Your shields. They use quantum technology the Empire can't counter. And I've seen your defense plans. You think differently than the Empire expects." General White spoke up. "How do we know this isn't a trick to learn our capabilities?" Gray smiled sadly. "Because I'm giving you this." He touched his device again, and new information filled the air. Complete technical data on Empire ships, their weaknesses, their attack patterns, and most importantly, their fleet movements. The room erupted in whispers as military officers studied the data. Stone remained focused on Gray. "Why now?" he asked. "Why us?" "Because you might actually win," Gray answered. "The Empire's biggest weakness is their pride. They haven't lost a war in 10,000 years. They don't adapt. They don't change. But humans." He gestured at the defense plans visible on nearby screens. "You're already thinking of ways to fight that the Empire has never seen." Lieutenant Ross, who had followed Stone from the Thunder, spoke up from his position near the door. "The Empire's main fleet. How many ships?" 5,000, Gray replied. "But they're spread across the galaxy. They'll send 300 against Earth first. If those fail, they'll send more." Stone studied the fleet movement data. "These attack patterns, they're always the same." "Exactly the same," Gray nodded. "For 10,000 years, the Empire believes their way is perfect. They'll use overwhelming force, standard formations, and expect you to fall like everyone else." The council spent the next hour reviewing the data. Everything Gray provided matched their own intelligence. Finally, Stone asked the question everyone was thinking. "What will they do to you if they discover you warned us?" Gray's face showed no fear. "Death would be a mercy. But I've lived too long watching worlds burn. Humanity has something I haven't seen in centuries: hope." As the meeting ended, Stone walked with Gray to his ship. "The Empire won't expect us to know their plans," Stone said. "No," Gray agreed. They also won't expect you to strike first. Remember, their pride is their weakness. Use it. Before boarding his ship, Gray turned one last time to Stone. There's an old saying in the Empire. Victory comes from perfect order. But they've forgotten something important. What's that? Stone asked. Chaos can destroy any order if you know how to use it. Gray smiled. And from what I've seen of human history, chaos is something you understand very well. As Gray's ship disappeared into space, Stone gathered the council. They had less than 18 hours before the Empire's deadline, and now they had something even more valuable than advanced technology. They had knowledge, and they were going to use it. The Empire's attack began exactly as Captain Gray had warned. 300 massive warships appeared near Mars' colony. Their formation was perfect, exactly as shown in the tactical data Gray had provided. Too perfect. Captain Wilson stood on the bridge of the stealth ship, Shadow, hidden behind Mars' largest moon, Phobos. His ship was one of 50 invisible vessels waiting in the darkness of space. On his command screen, he watched the Empire fleet move into position. Just like clockwork, he muttered. Computer, is the AI combat system ready? Combat AI fully operational, Captain. The ship's computer responded. All stealth systems at maximum efficiency. Empire sensors show no sign of detecting our fleet. The Empire ships started their standard attack pattern, spreading out to surround Mars. On the planet's surface, the small colony of 10,000 people had already been evacuated underground, leaving behind what looked like a vulnerable target. Wilson touched his communication panel. All ships, remember the plan. Let them think they've won until they're too close to escape. Admiral Stone's orders are clear. Show them what happens when they threaten human worlds. The Empire fleet opened fire on Mars' surface facilities. Their massive energy weapons turned buildings to ash, but found no victims. Then, following their standard protocol, they moved closer to begin their ground invasion. That's when Wilson sprang the trap. All ships, execute Protocol Thunder, he ordered. 50 stealth ships suddenly appeared around the Empire fleet, their advanced weapons powered by AI targeting systems that could predict enemy movements before they happened. The Empire ships, caught in their tight formation, had nowhere to run. Target their engine cores, Wilson commanded. Just like Gray showed us, 3 hits in the same spot, and their shields fail. The space around Mars lit up with explosions as human ships struck with surgical precision. Empire vessels, designed for overwhelming force but not quick movement, tried to respond. But their rigid battle computers couldn't match the adaptive human AI systems. Sir, Wilson's tactical officer shouted. 5 Empire capital ships just lost all power. Their crews are abandoning ship. Wilson nodded grimly. Rescue the escape pods. Show them we're not the monsters they think we are. The battle raged for 30 minutes. Empire ships, unable to adapt to human tactics, fell one by one. Their commanders, trained to fight by strict rules, couldn't understand how a primitive species was beating them. Then the Mars colony revealed its secret. Massive gun batteries emerged from hidden underground bunkers. The Empire fleet, focused on the stealth ships, never saw the surface-to-space weapons powering up. Mars batteries, fire, Wilson ordered. The colony's guns opened up, their quantum-tipped shells bypassing Empire shields completely. More ships fell, their proud commanders facing something they'd never experienced: defeat. Sir, the tactical officer reported, enemy fleet is trying to retreat. But they're still using standard escape routes, exactly where Gray said they would. Wilson allowed himself a small smile. Launch the mines. Space mines, hidden along the Empire's escape paths. Activated. Ships trying to flee found their engines destroyed, leaving them drifting in space. After 45 minutes, it was over. Of the 300 Empire ships that had attacked Mars, 50 were destroyed, 100 were captured, and the rest had fled in panic. Not a single human life was lost. On the main Empire command ship, now under human control, Wilson found their tactical computer. Just as Gray had said, it contained only standard battle plans, unchanged for thousands of years. The Empire had never needed to adapt, until now. "Captain," his communication officer called. "Message from Admiral Stone on Earth." "Put it through," Wilson replied. Stone's face appeared on the screen. "Good work, Captain. How many enemy survivors?" "About 12,000, Wilson reported, all being treated well in custody. Their commanders seemed shocked that we're not executing them." Stone nodded. "Good. Fear and cruelty are the Empire's weapons, not ours. Have you accessed their long-range communications?" "Yes, sir. And we're broadcasting exactly what you suggested. Videos of their defeat shown across all Empire channels. Let them see what happens when they underestimate humanity." "Excellent." Stone's face grew serious. "But this is just the beginning, Captain. The Empire will respond with an even larger fleet next time." Wilson looked at his tactical display, showing the wreckage of Empire ships floating in space. "Let them come, sir. Now we know their weaknesses, and more importantly, they still don't understand ours." "Correct," Stone said. "They think they've just faced humanity's best weapons. They have no idea what we're still holding back." The battle for Mars was over. The real war was about to begin. Grand Commander Red's fist slammed into his throne, cracking its golden surface. The Empire's War Council chamber fell silent as the holographic images of their defeat at Mars played again and again. "Impossible," he roared. 300 ships, lost to primitives. Around the circular chamber, other Empire commanders shifted uncomfortably in their seats. None wanted to be the first to speak. Finally, Fleet Master Blue stepped forward, his golden rank tattoos glowing in the dim light. "The humans," he began carefully. "They don't fight like anyone we faced before." On the main screen, footage showed human stealth ships appearing from nowhere, their eye-guided weapons striking with impossible accuracy. Another screen showed Empire escape pods being rescued by human ships. "They're not just fighting differently," another commander added. "They're thinking differently. Our captured crews report being treated well. The humans are broadcasting messages of peace even while they destroy our ships." Red's face darkened. "Psychological warfare. They're trying to confuse our troops." "It's working," Blue reported, bringing up new data. 3 Empire colonies have already sent messages supporting peace talks with Earth. They've seen the battle footage. They're questioning why we attacked a species willing to show mercy to enemies. Before Red could respond, emergency alarms blared through the chamber. On every screen, a new threat appeared. Admiral Stone's face, broadcasting directly into the Empire's secure network. "Greetings, Empire Command," Stone said calmly. "By now you've seen what happened at Mars. That was just one colony, defended by a small fraction of our fleet. Would you like to see what we can do with our full strength?" Red stood, fury radiating from him. "How dare you hack your communication systems?" Stone interrupted. "They haven't been updated in 5,000 years, just like your battle tactics, just like your entire empire. You've grown comfortable, rigid, weak." Suddenly, every Empire commander's personal device activated, showing different images. Their private estates, their secret bases, their hidden wealth. "We found everything," Stone continued. "While you were scanning our planet's surface, our AI systems were mapping your entire empire. Would you like to see what else we discovered?" Blue whispered to Red, "Sir, he's broadcasting this to every Empire world. Everyone is watching." Stone's voice remained calm. "Here's what happens next. You can either continue this war, watching your fleet break against our defenses while your empire crumbles from within, or you can talk peace." Red laughed, but there was fear in it. "You think you can defeat our main fleet? We have thousands of ships." "Do you?" Stone asked. The screens change, showing Empire shipyards. Empty Empire shipyards. "Operation Ghost Fleet is already complete. Check your bases. Count your ships. See what happens when you underestimate human ingenuity. The chamber erupted in chaos as commanders frantically checked their fleets. Reports flooded in. Ships missing, bases empty, entire battle groups gone dark. What did you do? Red demanded. We didn't destroy them. Stone said. We simply convinced them not to fight. Your crews have seen our power and our mercy. Many chose to stand down rather than die for your pride. Blue's voice shook as he reported. Sir, we're getting signals from across the Empire. 30% of our fleet. They're refusing orders to attack Earth. Stone nodded. You built an empire on fear and force. We built our civilization on adaptation and cooperation. Which foundation do you think is stronger? The transmission cut off, leaving the Empire War Council in stunned silence. Red stood alone, his authority crumbling as fast as his fleet. Send in our remaining loyal ships, he ordered. All of them. Blue stepped forward. Sir, with respect, maybe we should consider their offer. The humans have proven. They've proven nothing. Red shouted. They're just primitives with a few clever tricks. In Earth's command center, Admiral Stone watched the Empire's response through their compromised networks. Captain Wilson stood beside him. They're sending everything they have left, Wilson reported. 700 ships. Stone nodded. Just as we predicted. Their pride won't let them adapt. Are we ready for Phase 2? Wilson asked. Stone looked at the tactical display, showing humanity's real fleet strength, hidden weapons and ships that would shock even their own allies. The Empire thought they were the teachers, he said quietly. Time to show them what it means to be the student. Launch Operation Endgame. The Empire was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their AI. It was their ability to change the rules of the game. The 700 Empire ships emerged from hyperspace near Earth's moon, forming their traditional attack pattern. At their head, Commander Black's flagship dwarfed all other vessels, its weapons already charging. Let the humans witness true Empire power, Black commanded, his voice carrying to all ships. No mercy this time. But Earth's orbit was empty. No defense fleet. No orbital stations. Even the satellite network had vanished. Black frowned at his tactical display. Scanned the planet's surface. Sir, his sensor officer reported, we're detecting no military installations, no defense systems, no weapons. Everything is gone. In the Empire fleet, nervous whispers spread through communication channels. Had the humans fled? Had they given up? It didn't match their previous behavior. Then Admiral Stone's voice echoed through every Empire ship. Thank you for coming exactly where we wanted you. Suddenly, space itself seemed to tear open. Hundreds of quantum portals appeared, surrounding the Empire fleet. Through each portal, human ships emerged, but not just warships. There were cargo vessels, mining ships, even civilian craft, all modified for war. Impossible, Black shouted. No species has mastered quantum teleportation. You assumed we'd fight like you. Stone's voice replied. That was your mistake. We don't just adapt technology. We reimagine it. The human ships didn't attack. Instead, they activated strange devices that pulsed with blue energy. Empire sensors went crazy, showing thousands of phantom targets. What kind of warfare is this? Black demanded. On his command ship's bridge, Admiral Stone stood calmly. We call it chaos theory in action. Your empire fights with perfect order. We learn to fight with controlled disorder. The blue pulses intensified. Empire ships tried to target the humans, but their weapons couldn't lock on. Their perfect formation, drilled into them for thousands of years, had become a trap. Your sensors can't tell what's real and what isn't, Stone explained. Your targeting computers can't adapt to our quantum signatures. And now, let us show you why we cleared Earth's orbit. From the planet's surface, thousands of points of light shot upward. Not weapons, but tiny quantum drones, each carrying a teleportation device. Begin Operation Scatter, Stone ordered. The drones attached themselves to Empire ships. Before anyone could react, individual sections of Empire vessels began teleporting away. Engines to one location, weapons to another, bridge sections to yet another. "Stop this," Black screamed. "This isn't how war is fought." "No," Stone agreed. "This is how it's won." In less than 10 minutes, half the Empire fleet had been literally pulled apart, their pieces scattered across space. Not a single shot had been fired. Not one life had been lost. The remaining Empire ships tried to retreat, but the quantum disruption fields had scattered their hyperspace calculations. They were trapped. Commander Black watched in horror as his mighty fleet fell apart without a single traditional battle being fought. "What are you?" he asked, his voice shaking. Stone's response was transmitted across all frequencies. "We are human. We spent centuries fighting ourselves, learning that victory doesn't always go to the strongest or the largest. Sometimes it goes to those who think differently." The quantum drones surrounded Black's flagship, their blue light pulsing. "Here's your choice," Stone continued. "Surrender and help us establish peace, or watch your ship be teleported piece by piece into deep space. Your empire taught you to die for pride. We're teaching you to live for progress." Black looked at his tactical display. 300 ships already dismantled, 400 more trapped and helpless. All their mighty weapons useless against an enemy that refused to fight the way they expected. "Perhaps," Black said slowly, "it is time for the Empire to learn new ways." On Earth, Stone turned to Captain Wilson. "Send the message to all Empire worlds. Show them what happened here. Let them see that humanity doesn't seek destruction. We seek change." Wilson nodded. "Do you think they'll understand, sir?" "They'll have to," Stone replied, "because we just proved that their 10,000 years of unchanging tradition means nothing against human innovation." As Empire ships began transmitting surrender signals, Stone looked at the quantum portal network his people had created. The Empire had ruled space by mastering the known. Humanity had changed the game by imagining the impossible. The war wasn't over, but its outcome was now certain. The Empire would either adapt or it would fall, and humanity would lead the way into a very different future. Grand Commander Red stood in the Empire's central command chamber, watching his life's work crumble on the screens before him. Dozens of Empire worlds were broadcasting the same message. "We choose peace with Earth. Traitors," he shouted at the images. "Thousands of years of Empire strength, destroyed by cowards." Behind him, Commander Black entered the chamber with Admiral Stone and Captain Wilson. After surrendering Earth's orbit, Black had become the first Empire commander to officially seek peace. "Not destroyed," Black said firmly. "Change, like humans taught us to be." Red spun around, his hand reaching for his weapon. But he stopped when he saw his own elite guards standing with the humans. Their golden rank tattoos had been removed, a sign of rejecting Empire control. "The outer colonies are declaring independence," Black reported. "They've seen how humans treat their allies. Mercy instead of fear. Progress instead of control." Stone stepped forward, looking calm in the heart of what was once enemy territory. "Your own people are tired of living in fear, Commander Red. We're offering them something your Empire never did: choice." The screen showed more Empire worlds joining the revolution. Ships that once hunted humans now protected Earth's allies. The Empire's perfect order was dissolving into what Red saw as chaos. "You're destroying everything we built," Red snarled. "No," Wilson replied, activating a holographic display. "We're helping build something new. Look." The display showed Empire ships and human vessels working together, using quantum technology to help worlds the Empire had stripped bare. Former enemies were learning from each other. "Your Empire took 10,000 years to build weapons," Stone said. "We're teaching your people to build bridges instead." Suddenly, alarms blared through the chamber. Red smiled for the first time. "Ah, my loyal fleet approaches. Not everyone has forgotten Empire's strength." But Black shook his head. "No, Commander. That's not your fleet anymore. The screen showed Red's last loyal ships, approaching fast. But as they neared, quantum portals opened around them. Not human portals. Empire ships using human technology. Impossible, Red whispered. Our ships can't use quantum drives. Wilson asked. They can now. We shared the technology with Commander Black's forces. Your loyal fleet is about to see what their own people can do with new ideas. They watched as Red's fleet faced their own kind using human tactics. The battle was short. Empire quantum portals against traditional Empire weapons. The result was inevitable. You see, Stone said quietly, we didn't defeat your Empire with our weapons. We defeated it with knowledge, with change, with trust. Red sank into his command throne, looking suddenly old. Everything we built, all our power. Your power came from forcing others to obey, Black said. Human power comes from teaching others to grow. Which do you think lasts longer? Across Empire space, more worlds were choosing sides. But they weren't choosing between Empire and Earth. They were choosing between the past and the future. Stone's communication device beeped. Sir, Lieutenant Ross's voice came through. The last Empire holdout worlds just surrendered. They're requesting human teachers, not human weapons. Send them what they need, Stone ordered. And make sure they know, Earth doesn't want subjects. We want allies. Red looked at the humans who had destroyed his empire without destroying its people. What happens to us now? Public execution? Prison? Neither, Stone replied. We want you to teach. Red blinked in surprise. Teach. Your empire lasted 10,000 years, Stone explained. You must have learned something worth keeping. Help us build something that combines the best of both our peoples. Black stepped forward. The Empire taught strength through order. Humans teach strength through adaptation. Together, we could be something entirely new. On the screens, Empire worlds continued to choose change over tradition. Ships that once destroyed now helped rebuild. People who once ruled through fear now learned to lead through respect. Red stood slowly, looking at his shattered empire. Then he did something no Empire commander had done in 10,000 years. He asked a question. Will you teach me? Stone smiled. That's how it starts. Not with surrender, but with curiosity. The Empire hadn't just been defeated. It had been transformed. And its people were learning that the most powerful weapon in the galaxy wasn't the strongest ship or the biggest army. It was the willingness to change. 1 year after the Empire's transformation, ships gathered around Earth. Not for war this time, but for celebration. Vessels of every design filled the sky. Former Empire warships now painted with symbols of peace, human quantum ships, and craft from newly independent worlds. Admiral Stone stood on the observation deck of the Unity Station, Earth's new diplomatic center. Beside him, Commander Black and the reformed Grand Commander Red watched ships dock for the first Galactic Conference. Hard to believe, Black said, looking at a group of Empire children learning quantum physics from human teachers. A year ago, we would have killed each other on sight. Stone nodded. Now look at them. Your people learned faster than anyone expected. Because you taught us how to question, Red admitted. His once proud uniform had been replaced with the simple garb of a teacher. 10,000 years of accepting orders, and humans showed us how to think instead. The station's main hall was filling with representatives from hundreds of worlds. Former Empire colonies, now independent, sat beside human diplomats. Species that once fought each other now traded knowledge and resources. Captain Wilson entered, carrying a datapad. Sir, the latest reports are in. The last Empire military base has been converted into a university. And that warning message you asked about, it's spreading faster than we expected. Stone smiled. Show them. Wilson activated the hall's main screen. A message appeared. The same one being broadcast across the galaxy. Warning. Approach human space with caution. This species does not fight like others. They do not seek to conquer but to change. They will not take your worlds. They will transform your thinking. They do not break bodies. They break cycles of violence. If you come seeking war, be prepared to leave with knowledge instead. This is not a warning of danger, but of revolution. You turned our warning against humans into a warning about humans. Red chuckled. Clever. Not against, Stone corrected. 4. The best defense isn't weapons. It's understanding. In the hall below, Captain Gray, the Empire officer who had first warned Earth, was speaking to a group of young officers from various worlds. Humans taught us that true power isn't in destroying enemies, he said. It's in turning enemies into friends. Wilson checked his data again. The quantum technology sharing program is proceeding ahead of schedule. 30 more worlds have qualified for the education initiative. And sir, they're calling it the human method now. The human method? Black asked. Face conflict with innovation, Wilson explained. Meet force with adaptation. Answer hatred with opportunity. The galaxy's starting to see humanity not as warriors, but as teachers. Stone watched as more ships arrived through quantum portals, each portal now a symbol of cooperation instead of combat. How many worlds have requested human advisors now? Over 300, Red answered. More coming every day. They don't want our old empire's strength anymore. They want Earth's way of thinking. In the conference hall, representatives were sharing stories of transformation. Worlds that once stripped resources now developed sustainable technology. Species that once built warships now built research vessels. The galaxy was changing, one idea at a time. Lieutenant Ross approached with another update. Sir, the new Galactic Council is ready to convene. They're requesting you open the session. Stone straightened his uniform. Any late arrivals? Just one. Ross smiled. A species from the far rim. They said they saw our warning. And well, they want to learn. As Stone prepared to address the council, he looked at the mixed crowd below. Humans and aliens, former enemies and new allies, all gathered not under the rule of empire, but under the banner of shared knowledge. You know, he said to Black and Red, when this started, everyone thought we were just fighting another war. Instead, Black replied, you started a revolution without firing a shot. No, Red corrected, watching young Empire citizens working alongside humans. They started an evolution. The hall fell quiet as Stone took the podium. Representatives from hundreds of worlds, once divided by empire borders, now united by human innovation, waited to hear him speak. Stone looked at them all and smiled. Welcome, he began, to the first day of our shared future. We've learned that the strongest force in the galaxy isn't weapons or fleets or empires. It's an idea, shared freely, that we can all become more than what we were. The galaxy had expected humans to be just another warrior species. Instead, they became something far more powerful, teachers of change. And their lesson was spreading across the stars, one mind at a time. The Empire's warning to run from humans had become the galaxy's reason to run toward them. The greatest conquest, after all, wasn't taking over a world. It was opening a mind.